game. LSU, 3.5-point underdogs. Over-under super high in this game, 57.5. So I'm very interested to see if I'm guessing you're going to go under on this game, but what do you think about the plus 3.5?
That's fair because both teams return a lot of starters on offense. Talking about two of the top quarterbacks in this year's draft class. Like these guys are total opposite of Beck to me. Like, I like the way they play. They play on time. They're better athletes than people think. They can make plays with their legs. They're both talented. So the 3.5 is fair. I'm going to take the under, but barely. I don't think it's going to be 30, 40 points. No, like I have it at, I want to say my total is at 55. Like, it's right there at it. But with that being said, it's so many things going on in my head when it comes to picking this game, because you have LSU and Brian Kelly, who stink opening. They haven't won an opening week game since 2019, since Joe Burrow was in college. That's a long time. Like everything was different in 2019, right? That's like pre-COVID. They haven't won an opening game since pre-COVID. That's insane to think, right? Then you have, Clemson, who on paper looks like a good football team, but they can't get out their own way sometimes, and like Dabo is, he's all anti-portal. We do things homegrown and all that, all that stuff, right? So that being said, I'm taking LSU to go to Death Valley, beat the Tigers.
Okay, so they get to keep the Death Valley. This is the battle of Death Valley. Whoever wins gets that title.
Whoever wins keeps Death Valley, and the other team has to call it the Valley. You lose it, because it should not be two teams named Tigers and then their whole stadium named Death. No, they split the game every year, and you get naming rights for that year. But no, I'm taking LSU. I'm really high on Garrett Nesmeyer. I think he's one of the best quarterbacks in this draft class. My biggest concern with that team is that defense. Can they be consistent? Because they have studs on all three levels. Like, they have ballers. That's not the issue. So does Clemson. But Clemson does a good job of playing sound, fundamental football versus good teams usually. But with that being said, Clemson also lost to 3 Southeast teams last year. You know what I mean? Like all their losses.
Carolina, yeah.
Texas and
Texas. There was another one too. Georgia, beginning of the year.
Right. So they've shown that they really can't beat teams in the SEC. So it's kind of like, who do I lean on? And I think LSU breaks the curse, and Brian Kelly gets a win in Death Valley. And I think Garrett Nesmeyer is going to have a big game. I really like him as a quarterback, as a leader. He does a good job of protecting the ball. And LSU has weapons. Like, they have some speed. They can do some things. So that being said, taking LSU 31-24.
I think that's fair. My issue with both these teams is this: I don't know how good their running game is going to be, because Clemson has converted wide receiver to running back, Adam Randall. And then when's the last time I can't believe I'm saying this. When's the last time LSU had a legitimate running back? I don't think they've had one under Brian Kelly. I think that's another issue too. Like, I like Garrett Nussmeier, but if you're relying on him to throw the ball 40 times, I've seen what that looks like. It looks like when they played Texas A&M last year and he ends up throwing multiple interceptions. So that's my issue with him. He makes some boneheaded decisions, but a lot of college quarterbacks would do that. If you're throwing the ball 40 to 50 times a game, that's what's going to happen. So I actually think whoever runs the ball the best in this game is going to win the game. I think that's what it's going to come down to. And it's also interesting to me to Clemson. Like, I'm picking them. I picked them to win the national championship. But my issue is Tom Allen's coming in and he's changing the defense. I like their front four and their front seven, but they were really bad versus the run last year. And I don't know why. I don't know if that was run fits and if that's how easy it is. And listen, you're just on the wrong right or at the wrong place and you need to be over here. And if that's the case, guess what? That will be an easy fix. But if it's not that, then I don't know what's going to happen. If they get run through again, then this team's not going to go to the national championship. They may not even win the ACC if that's the case. But that was their biggest weakness because I think I like Klubnik. They have good wide receivers who stepped up down the stretch with TJ Moore and Bryant Wesco, especially in that Texas game. They really showed out.
Yeah.
I like their offensive line. I like their secondary with Avian Terrell. And I think Adam Randall will be enough at running back. But my issue is, can you stop the run? And then whatever team runs the ball the best in this game, I think will win the game. And because Brian Kelly's just going to have to prove it to me. I've yet to see him field a good defense, and I've yet to see him win an opener at LSU. I'm going to take Clemson in this game, and I'm going to take them 34-20. I think they win this game actually pretty easily. I just don't believe in LSU's defense. I don't. I think
that's fair.
One, they build the defense around Harold Perkins, and I don't think they know what he is. So they kind of just leave him out there to dry in weird positions. And I also don't think he's a super talented guy that you can build your whole defense around. I really like him, but I don't think he's that type of player. So that's why I think LSU is going to struggle. And like I said, when he was injured last year, they were actually better defensively. Now that he's back, it's going to be interesting to see if they change anything to get better defensively.
It's going to be so with Harold Perkins. Well, where they messed up is they start moving him around, having to do way too much. Like watching him his true freshman year when he was able to either play will backer or on third down just rush the passer. He was special. Like everyone was like, oh, who is this guy? Then over the next the next 2 years, it was just more just like, oh well, let's move him around so you can't get a beat on him. Well, the issue is he has to know what he's doing as well. So I don't disagree at all about the defense of LSU, but where Clemson is strong, I think LSU can match, if that makes sense. Yeah. I think LSU has guys who can cover. I think they can rush the passer well enough to get Cade off the spot, get him to struggle a little bit. But to your point, I'm not worried about the run game, in which that's where LSU struggled too. Like they struggle stopping the run consistently. So, but when you look at Clemson, they don't like running the ball because they have the quarterback. Or when they do run it, they're really not as effective, but it's not a focal point of their offense. Like they'll do it every now and again, third and short. They get the quarterback runs going, but they're not a consistent threat to run the ball to where LSU would be in fear of them just running the ball down their throat. So if to your point, if Clemson can't run the ball and you line up and just try to throw on this team, LSU is going to beat them. If Clemson can get any sort of a run game going, any sort of consistency, I'm talking about 4 or 5 yards a pop, LSU can get blown out.
No,
like, it's like, to me, it's no gray area in this game. This game is either really close or LSU loses by a lot.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too, especially like if they get down like 10-0 in the first quarter, I think it could get pretty ugly pretty quickly. Yep. They need to get out to a hot start because at this point you're also fighting the mental game of, oh, we're down again in an opener. I don't think we're going to win. So we'll see what happens. But we're on opposite sides of this one too. So we'll see about this.